What's up guys, it's Widgeon TV here. Today on Destiny in Depth, we're going to be doing Explosive Rounds Part 2. Yeah, that's right, Explosive Rounds is that deep of a perk that it requires 2 videos. So first things first, I'm going to point you toward my first Explosive Rounds video. If you haven't seen it already, definitely go watch it. It's the first Destiny video I ever put on my channel, and kind of annoyingly, it's still my most popular video. Anyway, that video covers the extra damage that Explosive Rounds gives you. That, along with some other numbers, prove in my opinion that Explosive Rounds is the best weapon perk in Destiny. And now in this video, we're going to be covering 3 more things that strengthen that argument. Alright, let's start this video out with Flinch. So testing the Flinch was really easy. I loaded up a daily heroic story mission, and I decided to test it on the Fallen. So with no explosive rounds, as you can see, I shoot this guy, and he doesn't flinch. And then I switch perks to explosive rounds, and when I shoot him, he flinches. I have a few more examples too, like this Taken Vandal. The same thing is happening here. Non-explosive rounds, no flinch. Explosive rounds, then he flinches. I tested this on quite a few different enemies, and there is definitely an improvement in the amount of flinch with explosive rounds, but not every enemy will flinch more when you're using them, but it's a noticeable improvement, just like this Ultra Knight on the Dreadnought. I've been using this Ultra Knight as a flinch tester ever since I began testing flinch. As you can see, it takes 4 shots with the non-explosive rounds, and it takes 4 shots with the explosive rounds to make him flinch also. So like I said before, it's not every enemy that you'll see benefit from, but it definitely is the majority of them. Alright, so now let's move on to Flinch in PvP. When getting hit with explosive rounds in PvP, it doesn't actually change your reticle deflection all that much. What it does really well though is it will blind your enemy for about a split second every time you shoot him. This is me getting shot with a sniper without explosive rounds. And this is me getting shot with a sniper with explosive rounds. Did you guys see a difference? I'll put them side by side so you can see it closer. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, when you get shot with a gun with explosive rounds, there's a very bright flash that makes it impossible to see anything for that split second. And it might not be that impressive when you're just getting shot by a sniper, but if you have a high rate of fire scout rifle with explosive rounds, like the NL Shadow, you can punish people and make sure they have a hard time seeing what's in front of them. This is very powerful in the Crucible, and I would definitely recommend it. Alright, so that's all I have on Flinch. Let's move on to the range. So explaining the range is kind of complicated, so hang in there. So when using explosive rounds, it breaks the weapon damage into 2 different parts, the projectile damage and the explosion damage. Like this time here when I'm shooting the interceptor, it breaks down into 2 29 damage parts. So let's take a step way back over here and shoot the interceptor again. As you can see here, the bullet damage decreases all the way down to 10 damage, but the explosive rounds damage does not change. That gives us a total of 39 damage. And if you take the 2 damage numbers, you can see that there's a 33% decrease in damage when shooting the gun at this extreme range. So let's move on to non-explosive rounds. So we'll take a close shot and it does 57 damage, and then we'll take a far shot and it does 19 damage. When you do the math on that, it shows that the damage decreased by 66%, a much larger decrease in the amount of damage compared to explosive rounds. I went ahead and tested this on a live enemy just to be sure. That's a damage decrease of 26%, and when not using explosive rounds, that again is a 66% decrease in the amount of damage. So a huge win for explosive rounds on the range. This alone makes this perk more powerful than any range boosting perk in the game. Pretty impressive stuff from explosive rounds. Alright, so now let's move on to the last part of this video, and that's the shields. So I actually already covered part of this in my Zen Meteor video. I'll show a clip from that video here in a second. But basically, explosive rounds along with rocket launchers are the only things in the game that can destroy a knight's shield. You know, the heavy shield that they bring up after you shoot them? Yeah, explosive rounds can take that down. Watch this. On the right, I'm going to shoot his shield with a sniper with explosive rounds. And on the left side, I'm not going to do anything. As you can see, there's a clear difference in the amount of time that the shield is up. Pretty impressive, right? Also, it does the same thing with the phalanx shields. Of course, normally you can't shoot through these things. You have to aim for his gun sticking out the top, but with explosive rounds, you don't have to do any of that. Just shoot the shield a few times, and it will stagger the phalanx, leaving him open to kill him. Easy as that. Alright, so I know that was a lot of information, but I hope you guys are watching this thinking the same thing that I am, and it's that explosive rounds are amazing. I'm not a very definitive person, but I know this for sure. If you use a hand cannon or a scout rifle as your main PvE weapon, and it doesn't have explosive rounds on it, then you're doing it wrong. Explosive rounds is by far the best weapon perk in Destiny. If you haven't tried it yet, definitely go out and get a gun with explosive rounds. You won't regret it. And if you need any more convincing, make sure to watch my first video. It has a lot of great information in it also. Alright, so that's all I have on explosive rounds. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing. It really helps out my small channel. Alright, this has been Widgeon TV. Thanks for watching, guys.